Hey there, AmyK here, 50 at 50 video number 30. Now, we're at number 30, so I thought I would take a moment to just quickly answer the question, because some of you have been asking, what does the 50 at 50 mean again? I turned 50 this year, and I'm making 50 videos, one per week, for 50 weeks. So I'm 50 years old, I'm making 50 videos, 50 at 50. Now, I also want to share that I'm getting a lot more questions because I asked for them the other day. And so I'm going to ask again. If you've got a question for me, ask me anything. You can write to support@shegetsit.com. Again, support, the word support at shegetsit.com. And I would love to answer your questions. All right. Today we hear from Adrian, who goes by Addy. So she says, "Dearest AmyK, my cousin and very dear friend is getting on my last nerve." Okay. She says, "I'm sorry, but she is. I am so tired of her asking me 1,000 questions, but then not answering a single question when I ask her one. It's like she wants all the gossip and drama about me, but is unwilling to share about herself." Okay. "And then I hear through the grapevine, like my mother or sister, that she does have things going on. Any magical phrases for this nutso situation? Thanks, Adrian, but I go by Addy." Okay, Addy, formerly known as Adrian, there's a lot here. So let me just say, from a place of outside perspective, objective perspective, because I don't know you and I don't know your cousin, you say that she's a very dear friend, but you're hearing about her life from others. So notice that you're hearing from your mom, I think you said your sister. So, quote unquote, she's sharing somewhere, but you're also getting third-party information from people who may or may not really have the right to tell her story and her news. So I think the most beautiful thing that you could do is to go back and communicate, to connect. So the next time you all are together, you can use that magical phrase, "I have a story in my head," and say that. "Hey, cousin, dear friend, I have the story in my head that it's not safe for you to share with me. That it isn't a sacred place where you can share your truth and be vulnerable and know that I'm going to protect it, that I'm going to hold it, that I'm going to be a witness for you as a very dear friend." And then say, "Is there any truth to my story?" Maybe something happened a long time ago where she feels like you shared something that wasn't yours to share. Or maybe she feels like, yeah, because your mother and your sister share it, I don't trust you guys, and maybe they're even telling it from somebody else that they heard from. So your job is to lean in to be a dear friend, as you describe yourself. It's a very dear friend. Well, very dear friends have to ask themselves, how do I show up as one? What does a very dear friend look like, sound like, and behave? So it's not a nutso situation, and I'm not judging you, I get it. But changing even that language to say, hey, somebody's having a hard time being vulnerable. What can I do to make it safe for them to share? So I just hope that flips the perspective a little bit, because I have no doubt that you are a very dear friend, one who can show up compassionately, empathetically, and understandably to wherever it is that she's coming at. And you also get to share your truth. Once she shares, oh, maybe it's not safe, then you can say, well, I'd like it to be a safe space because I feel like I answer a lot of the questions that you ask me, and I'd like it to be reciprocal. I'd like it to be a give and receive flow of energy, love, compassion, and understanding between us. But that, again, is you taking the responsibility to communicate, to connect. From my heart to yours, hugs.